two 27-inch 5K monitors that look almost identical on paper, but with an $800 price difference between them. Is the Apple tax real, or is there something I'm missing? After 3 weeks of using both the ASUS ProArt PA27JCV and Apple Studio Display for everything from photo editing to video production, I discovered something that completely changed my recommendation. I've tested everything from color accuracy and brightness to connectivity and real-world performance. And yes, I even measured which one causes less eye strain during those marathon editing sessions we all love to hate. If you're looking for the best deal on either of these, I've included updated links in the description, so check those out for the latest prices and availability. The moment you unbox these monitors, you immediately feel the difference. The Apple Studio Display's aluminum chassis has that premium heft we've come to expect, weighing in at 5.5 kilograms compared to the ProArt's 4.14 kilograms. The Studio Display feels like it could survive a small earthquake, while the ASUS, well, let's just say it feels more economical. I noticed the ASUS stand has a slight wobble when I'm typing aggressively or adjusting the height. Is it a deal breaker? No, but it's definitely not as solid as Apple's offering. But here's where things get interesting. ASUS actually gives you more physical flexibility. The ProArt includes height adjustment, tilt, swivel, and even pivot functionality built into the standard stand. Meanwhile, Apple charges an extra $400 just to add height adjustment to their already expensive monitor. Yes, you heard that right. $400 for a feature that comes standard on monitors a quarter of the price. One Reddit user summed it up perfectly. Bought the Studio Display last month. Love everything about it except the ridiculous stand situation. It's beautiful, but I feel like I got robbed. As for aesthetics, it depends on your preference. The Apple has that minimalist design that blends perfectly with other Apple products. The ASUS has a more functional look that wouldn't be out of place in a professional studio setup. Category winner: tie. Apple wins on premium build quality, but ASUS wins on included ergonomic features. Now let's talk about what really matters: display performance. Both offer identical 5K resolution at 5120 by 2880 and 218 ppi. But there are crucial differences when you look closer. The Apple Studio Display delivers 600 nits of brightness compared to the ASUS's 400 nits, 500 peak. I tested both in my sun-drenched office at midday, and I could definitely notice the difference. The Apple remained perfectly visible while the ASUS looked slightly dimmer. But here's where things flip. The ASUS supports HDR10 and VESA Display HDR 500, while the Apple has no HDR support whatsoever. I pulled up the same HDR footage on both monitors, and the ProArt showed noticeably better dynamic range in bright highlights and shadow detail. For color accuracy, both are exceptional. The ASUS covers 99% of DCI-P3 with a delta E value less than 2, which basically means colors are indistinguishable from perfect to the human eye. The Apple covers the P3 wide color gamut as well, and adds true tone technology that adjusts the display based on ambient lighting. I tested both with professional calibration tools, and honestly, either one would satisfy even the pickiest photographer or designer. The ASUS measured at 100% sRGB, 100% P3, and 89% Adobe RGB in independent tests, numbers that match professional reference monitors. But there's one thing about the ASUS that might bother some users: its matte coating. The Lux Pixel anti-glare, low reflection coating drastically reduces glare, which is great for bright rooms. But some photographers prefer the deep blacks and punchy contrast of glossy displays like the Apple's. Category winner: ASUS. The HDR support gives it an edge for video editors and content creators, though Apple's higher brightness is better for bright environments. This is where these monitors truly diverge. The ASUS is a connectivity powerhouse with USB-C, 96-watt power delivery, HDMI 2.1, DisplayPort 1.4, multiple USB 3.2 ports, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. The Apple offers just one Thunderbolt 3 port, 85-watt power delivery, 3 USB-C ports, and a headphone jack. What this means practically is that with the ASUS, I could connect my MacBook Pro, gaming PC, and Nintendo Switch simultaneously and switch between them using the built-in KVM switch. With the Apple, I'm limited to one Thunderbolt device at a time. But the Apple fights back with features the ASUS doesn't have at all, namely a spectacular 6-speaker sound system with spatial audio support and a built-in 12-megapixel, ultra-wide camera with center stage that follows you as you move. The mic array is broadcast quality too. During video calls, the difference was night and day. On the studio display, I looked and sounded professional. With the ASUS, I had to add a separate webcam and microphone to achieve similar results, adding $150 to $200 to the total cost if you need those features. For audio, the Apple speaker system is so good that I actually disconnected my desktop speakers. It filled my office with rich sound that no other monitor, including the ASUS, which has no speakers whatsoever, can match. Category winner: depends. For connectivity and multi-device setups, ASUS wins. For all-in-one convenience with audio and video, Apple wins decisively. If you're deep in the Apple ecosystem, the Studio display offers seamless integration that just works. The center stage camera tracking, Hey Siri support, yes, the monitor has an A13 Bionic chip inside, and automatic calibration with macOS create a frictionless experience. The ASUS counters with its ProArt software that offers extensive calibration options, KVM controls, and preset modes for different color spaces. It's remarkably comprehensive, but it lacks that magical "it just works" quality of Apple's integration. I noticed the Apple occasionally has quirks, like black screens on startup that require replugging the cable, mentioned in several Apple community forums, and because it runs a version of iOS internally, it sometimes needs a restart to fix camera or speaker issues. The ASUS has its own quirks too. The KVM switch occasionally has a slight delay when switching inputs, and some users report availability issues in certain regions. Category winner: Apple. For Mac users, the ecosystem integration is unmatched, despite occasional software quirks. Let's address the elephant in the room. The Apple Studio display starts at $1,599, and that's with just the tilt adjustable stand. If you want height adjustment, that's another $400, bringing the total to nearly $2,000. The ASUS ProArt PA27 JCV comes in at around $799, half the price of the base Studio display, and includes a fully adjustable stand. What exactly are you paying double for with Apple? The aluminum build, 600 nits brightness instead of 400 to 500, built-in audio and webcam, and ecosystem integration. But you're giving up HDR support, connectivity options, and getting a less adjustable stand unless you pay extra. One Amazon reviewer put it perfectly: the ProArt gives you 90% of the Studio display's performance at 50% of the cost. Unless you absolutely need the Apple integration, it's a no-brainer. Category winner: ASUS. Delivers exceptional value with comparable display performance at half the price. After using both monitors for almost a month, here's who I think should buy each one. Go with the ASUS ProArt PA27 JCV if you're a creative professional on a budget. It's perfect if you need to connect multiple devices. The built-in KVM switch makes that a breeze. If you're working with HDR video content, or you need a flexible setup that can adapt to your workspace, this monitor delivers great value without breaking the bank. Overall, it offers one of the best price-to-performance ratios out there. Now, if you're fully in the Apple ecosystem, the Apple Studio display is likely the better fit. It comes with a high-quality built-in camera and audio system, which is great for video calls or content creation. The extra brightness is a real benefit if you're working in well-lit spaces. And if design and premium build quality matter to you, this display nails it. Just know, you're paying a premium for a polished, all-in-one solution. For my personal workflow, I found myself gravitating toward the ASUS for my editing desk because of its HDR support and connectivity options. But for my podcast recording setup, the Apple's superior audio and video capabilities made it the clear choice. If I had to recommend just one of these monitors to most people, it would be the ASUS ProArt PA27 JCV. It delivers exceptional 5K image quality, professional-grade color accuracy, and versatile connectivity at half the price of the Apple Studio Display. The Studio Display is still an excellent monitor, and if you're in the Apple ecosystem and value the integrated audio, webcam, and seamless integration, it might be worth the premium. But it's hard to justify paying twice as much for features you can add externally to the ASUS for much less. The reality is that both monitors have the same 5K resolution and similar color accuracy. The differences come down to built-in features versus flexibility and value. For most creative professionals, the ASUS ProArt PA27 JCV simply makes more financial sense while delivering comparable performance. Hope this helped you decide which 5K monitor is right for your workflow. Check the links below for the best current deals, and I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe for more tech reviews.